What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Footsdaking. As always, thank you all for liking, sharing, and subscribing. This video is brought to you guys by BetUS. You guys know this face in the community. He has taken the community by storm. This is actually his first time on my channel. And I was texting with Clint this morning, and I said, Clint, do you want to come on and just kind of talk about what this title is? And it's apparently that Trevon Diggs is being shot by the Cowboys. But before I do that, I just want to give him his flowers. He's working extremely hard. He has created a lane. He's locked in these reports. He's coming with great polarizing thoughts. Clint, how you doing, buddy? AOC,
bro, I'm good. You good? You good, bro? As long as you got the full government, we good. They don't have to. But nah, we good, bro. I am doing great, man. Glad to be here. I kind of just like you said, I just texted you after we seen the news, and it's not really news. We need to make sure that we're responsible in how we're discussing this. It's not really officially reported news, but it is news that was dropped by somebody that reported the Debo Samuel trade to Washington 4 days ago before it was ever even reported.
People, you know what kills us? Actually, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I got you. I'm feeding off of you.
Me. And you have this platform, the chat is buzzing, so I think this is gonna be a banger. People kill me when they act like Ricky hasn't called a lot. They hate it. They absolutely hate it. And I'm not gonna name any names, but they can't stand the fact that Ricky is right.
I will. If you want, I will.
Because I already publicly do it. Let's have fun.
I already publicly do it. So you can everything I'm about to say has nothing to do with Footsdaking nor his platform. This is all attack on Cowboys, and I don't give a damn.
Yes. Clint, how you feeling about this?
The media, bro. The media. I'm feeling good. Honestly, I think this is going to happen. I've been discussing this. I think we've talked about the Cowboys Collective a couple times when we have talked about the Cowboys and moves they may need to make. I guarantee I'll go back and rewatch those. I've brought up trading or getting rid of a Trevon Diggs multiple times. And I think John kind of talked about, the injury and just the money he's owed, making it kind of difficult. But this makes sense, Foots. And if I'm being completely honest, if you listen to what Andre Curtis, David Overstreet, and some of those guys said when they described the type of DBs they want in that backfield, brother, Trevon Diggs does not fit that description. And that's just keeping it a buck. There's nothing on Diggs. He does not fit the description of a physical, hard-nosed corner who's going to put his nose in there and tackle. And I know the injury issues may have made him a little bit more reserved, because if you don't trust your body, you're not going to be as willing to throw yourself in there. Anybody who's been on that field knows that. But are we going to have any confidence that he's going to come back now off of a second injury and be that guy and fit the culture that this team is trying to build? And the culture seems like the most important thing to everyone within that organization right now. It seems like they're trying to fix that culture, from Jerry and him not taking media requests for interviews to Shoddy and having that entire staff on the same page and one defined goal. Everyone that's in that locker room is going to have to fit that goal. I don't think Trevon Diggs does. And money-wise, you save yourself $9 million. If you trade him or release him before his $9 million is guaranteed to him due to an injury guarantee 5 days after the league year begins.
Ladies and gentlemen, AOC, he's very well spoken. He already hit on the money piece of it. I'm actually turning the chats off. I don't want to see the chats for right now. I know it's buzzing, but I want to get this information out, and then we'll get to some of your guys' thoughts, questions, and concerns. AOC, if you see anything in there that just throws you for a loop, that's cool. But I want to say this. I think that I have to agree with AOC. Guys, it's not our job. It's not my job to be fans and be so, we love our guys, love our guys, love our guys. I'm going into the mindset this offseason that, hey, I'm not overvaluing anybody. Okay. Let's talk about the Trevon Diggs timeline. Let's talk about how we got here. Let's talk about why this might happen. Trevon Diggs last year, okay, got hurt. Okay. No, actually take that back. When did
he got hurt the season before last? He got
hurt the season before last. He got
week
hurt.
4. I want to say it was like week
at practice.
Or 4 at practice.
Week 4, week 3 or 4, got hurt
right before Arizona. Practice. It was right before Arizona.
After it was it. Oh, it was before the Arizona.
It was
game.
right because they came out flat as life. They came out flat as life because
everybody
the Diggs
was
injury
down.
It gutted them. The Diggs injury gutted them. They came out flat, got punched in the mouth, and then it was bad from like a couple of weeks after that until that bye week came and they kind of got their feet back under them.
the whole energy was down. I never. It's crazy. We have that OC now here, and they literally punched on Dallas. And some of it was, I remember that Diggs injury because the year before he had just had the record with the interceptions and the whole nine, and then this year happened, right? AOC,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to say before he went out for the year, because what was his injury this year? It
It's
felt like
the
he
knee.
didn't play at
The
all.
knee. It was a knee. It was a knee. His injury happened, I want to say, in December. It happened in
Okay, so it happened in
December this
December.
season. And it was the knee, bro. And remember, some weird reports started coming out. I want to say like around December 12th through the 15th, somewhere around there. We saw a report come out from Blogging the Boys. That was the
Yes,
first person that kind of reported that, as far as people within the building, some of the training staff, not
yes,
really being fans of how Diggs approached his rehab. Right? We're
yes.
just lining up the breadcrumbs for y'all right now. We're not saying anything we're saying is true or false. We're lining up the breadcrumbs to make sense of what we're seeing, because there's a lot going on in front of us, and I think a lot of people are missing the details in between the lines right now. But yeah,
Okay,
that's when
so
it happened.
we're lining up the breadcrumbs, and let's actually take it back to when Diggs got in the league. I want to do that. So, second round pick out of Alabama. I'll never forget his first year as a rookie in Dan Quinn's system. He struggled, and then towards the end of the year, you started to see a great player. You started to see, okay, this guy is going to be something. You could just tell. I never
Right.
forget. Terry gave him hell his rookie year. He comes back and he completely locked Terry. He locked Jalen Hurts. He had the interceptions on Hurts. Him and Hurts are going back and forth, and they used to be teammates. All of that.
Right.
Then Diggs gets extended. Okay.
Right.
And he earned that extension. We want to be clear. Because if this gets clipped up, I'm sure it will. These guys watch everything. We want to be clear that we respect what Diggs is. I do. But I'm
Yeah,
also real enough to
anything these
know
guys negotiate for themselves, they earned it, bro.
they earned it.
I don't pocket watch players. I don't say they shouldn't have got X1, bro. That is on the front office to make the money work in the most favorable way for the franchise. If guys get over, they get over. That's not their fault. I'm not ever gonna be mad at a guy for that.
26 years old. It's not the Cowboys' job to project. So he got paid for what we thought he was going to continue to do. Continue to work
Mm-hmm.
hard, continue to rehab a certain way. Even injuries happen. But when multiple people, and this is people that I've talked to, we all have sources now. You can say what you want. I'm not going to put anybody out there. There's people who, oh, you guys are little YouTube guys. No, we ain't. I'm telling you, these players watch our stuff. There's people in the building that watch our stuff. We not big names, but Clarence Hill just came out and retweeted me saying, "Oh, there's no," and I'll go to it. But okay, Clarence, if you feel the need to jump in front of that, that lets me know that there maybe is some truth to it.
There's
But
something going on, because otherwise they ignore it,
let me
bro.
show
Like
it. Let me
they
show it.
ignore everything else unless it threatens what they do, and I don't blame them at all, because if you're a Dallas Cowboys media member, you wouldn't want to co-sign an outsider getting the scoop before you, or being able to drop some type of news before you do, because that's where your value is as a media member in a local market. Your value is in getting the story first. So
Yeah.
anytime someone comes out and they have the story first, it lessens your value inherently. So of course, those guys are gonna be like, no, it's not official, it's not reported, blah, blah, blah. They're gonna be like that, guys. They're gonna be like that. And remember, the same dude last season pretty much called the exact numbers of the CD Lamb contract. Pretty much called the exact numbers. And Clarence Hill and all those guys came out, oh, that's, it's unsolicited. What happened? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, there's other people within the league that get to these stories, man.
Yeah.
There it
So,
is.
and so when this came out, this is Clarence Hill, of DLS Cowboys. There's absolutely no truth to this. This is what he's reporting. They don't even know when he will be ready to start the season. There is no trademark. Okay, that's the problem. They don't know when he's going to be ready to start. And the
And
issue
how do you know
is,
there's no trade market if they haven't looked?
and not only that,
If they haven't discussed it, how would they know? If they haven't discussed trading Trevon Diggs, how would they know that there's no trade market? Ooh. Ooh. Because the only way you can definitively know, hey, there's no trade market, is if you went out and seen if there was a trade market, right?
and AOC, you've been knocking out these free agents. So I'm gonna refer to you because I'm so knee deep in draft talk that I just hit this because this does affect the draft, and we'll talk about that. And some
Yeah,
guys
it
that I
does.
watched at the Senior Bowl, Max Harrison,
Maxwell Harris.
yeah,
Yeah.
you saw me going crazy, like
Yeah.
because he's somebody that this isn't fluff. I was tweeting
I was
him
watching
out
it, bro.
during the game. I mean, during the actual Senior Bowl practices. Then he goes out and runs and tests the way he did. You just don't know now. At the end of the day, we talked about this AOC all throughout the Cowboys Collective. Make sure you guys subscribe over there. We have great conversations. We'll get John this week. He'll let us know what's going on.
And make sure y'all leave a like, man. Hey, y'all leave a like on this man's stream right now. There's 297 of y'all in here watching
on a Sunday.
And y'all got 50 likes up in here on a Sunday, man. That's diabolical work. Go ahead, bro.
Especially when they run this back.
Likes up, man. Yeah,
when they run this back on Monday morning, AOC, like let's do it, man. And then you guys make sure that you guys subscribe to AOC because I'm sure he's gonna do a great breakdown on all of this. Here's the deal.
My shit already up.
Hey,
it's already up, bro.
Maybe this is why Clarence tweeting us so quick. He said, you know what? I can't even. But at the end of the day, I had no plans of reporting this but it's real. This is real. So again, you can say what you want about Ricky, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Ricky's tweet, and they can say what they want about Ricky. But, Josh Norris is somebody who's in the community when he's, commenting on stuff. And when these guys are commenting on stuff, trust me, Ricky is not some just fake made up Twitter page. He's called a lot of things that happened. He called the Debo Samuel trade. He called the contract last year with CeeDee Lamb. He's called a few things. And again, let's follow the breadcrumbs. So, okay, now I want to go back to who Diggs is. And following his timeline, Diggs, he was an exceptional corner for the Dallas Cowboys, and he got paid accordingly. He got extended AOC accordingly
for a season. He was an exceptional corner for a season.
Talk about that. AOC.
We gotta keep it in context. We gotta keep it in context.
Talk about it.
So Diggs' first year, I believe that was Mike Nolan year, right?
Yes.
No one was good.
Defense was awful.
Second year, Dan Quinn first year, that's when Diggs, he kind of popped off a little bit. Micah came in, added that pass rush, kind of hurried the QB up a little bit, made the DB's job a little bit easier. Diggs got rolling a little bit. That was an amazing year. That year right there, that made me feel like, bro, we had a top 3 cornerback for the next 7 or 8 seasons. Like this is one of those ones.
Yes.
Then he came back, got injured the next season. And to his credit, started off very hot. Hold on. Matter of fact, how long has Diggs been in the league? Let me make sure I'm getting the timeline right. I don't want to discredit my guy. We got to make sure we being fact. Okay, yeah. So came back the next season. The interception numbers went way down. Wasn't the same type of ball hawk.
I don't even know if
at all.
How many interceptions?
He had 3. He had 3. He had 3 interceptions in 2022. The next season is when he got injured. Had 1 interception up to that point.
Yes.
They played that's when right before they played the Cardinals, we got to that. Got injured. 1 interception. 2024 played most of this season. 2 interceptions all season long. So outside of 2021, you're looking at a guy that's giving you 1 to 2 interceptions, 3 at maximum per season.
Yes.
And on top of that, we're not even just looking at takeaway numbers. If you're actually watching the games, you're watching the tape. There's times where Diggs is getting lost in coverage. There's times where he's trying to figure out what the call is late. There's time where his alignment is bad from the start of the snap, so he's getting out leveraged immediately. There's times where he's playing from behind, whether it be intentionally to try to coach the quarterback into throwing a bad ball or not. He plays like this high risk, high reward type of play style that now, especially after the injury, it's becoming more high risk than it is high reward. And yes, he was a very, very, very outstanding player for us in 2021. But outside of that, we've seen a guy that's expendable. I mean, let's keep it a buck. We've seen a guy that's expendable, and you're looking at a Deron Bland who's going to be due for a contract either this offseason or the next, and they're probably going to try to get him done this offseason. And what you're essentially going to do if you're the Cowboys and you were to move off of a Diggs this offseason, you're essentially going to switch in Deron Bland's contract with Diggs's. That's what you're doing.
Who, just knowing the person, right? I just,
Yeah.
I just got to be honest, right?
I agree with where you're going. I already know
You
where you're
guys,
going.
you guys come to this channel for the truth. I know people who are in Diggs' circle. I'm from the DMV. I'm not gonna put fluff and put anything negative on Trevon Diggs. I think he was a great player and he earned his money. That being said, I have to be fair. I do think there is some truth to him not wanting to get rehab, being focused on other things, fashion, moving all over the
Yeah.
world, and
And we
that's
didn't see
fine.
that stuff, bro, until after he got paid. We didn't see all the high fashion interest and all that. We didn't see none of that stuff until he got paid, bro.
And
Remember,
guess what?
Diggs was real quiet and kind of reserved before, like real quiet, reserved, tucked off. Really say one or two words to the media. That's about it. Still kind of quiet, but now you can see his focus. He's definitely into the celebrity aspect of being a Cowboy. Definitely.
And guess what? I tell people this story all the time. I did a research one of the articles. Well, not an article, but I had to write a 20-page paper. It was a history of fashion class that I had to take. I'm a music major, but I had to take history. The point is, Michael Jordan. The reason why his shoes today are so still to this day, everybody wants to wear Jordans is because he brought in designers from Fendi, Gucci. This was when him and Phil Knight were designing his shoes. He didn't want to go to Converse. He wanted full creative control. Michael Jordan was into different things. If these athletes, I'm into music. Clint, I mean, AOC, I know you're into a bunch of things. You can be into what you're into. Micah podcast, that's fine. Here's the deal. When it affects what you do, that's the issue. You didn't have to worry about Michael Jordan. He hired Tim Grover because he wanted to get stronger. He wanted to be a better athlete than everybody in the league, and he already was a better basketball player than everybody in the league when he got to the league, and that wasn't enough. He knew he had to get stronger. He knew he couldn't be hurt. These guys load management. Michael Jordan never load managed. So the point is, if you can manage both, do both. Right now, it's sounding like Trevon Diggs can't manage both, and that's an issue. We have to be fair. I'm not super fan Foots. I'm a fan of the Star. I'm a fan of the Cowboys. I cover the Cowboys. All these reporters, they're fans of the Star. They're fans of the Cowboys. They cover the Cowboys. This is not the Trayvon. This is not the Dallas Trayvon Diggses. And we give Jerry and these guys a hard time for not, getting contracts done and not this, that, and the third. And I'm going with this, Clint.
Yeah.
You give these guys, you give the Jones a hard time, and then when they do something like this and you don't take rehab serious and you're constantly hurt and you're basically like, I'm good, I got the money. Now what? Right. Now this report is coming out. And again, to act like it's not real, it's false. That's false to me. I think I'm going to take a hard left on that and say, love you, Clarence Hill. I disagree. I think that this is real because it's been murmurs. It was murmurs and it's been whispers. There was whispers at the Senior Bowl when I'm talking to Cowboys people. There was whispers here. So when everybody's whispering the same stuff, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, AOC.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ignore when you're hearing the same thing from different people, different places, and it keeps bubbling up. You have to start wondering, like, where's the genesis of that? Like, where is that coming from? Why are people perpetuating that? There can't be that many people out there that just have ill will towards the guy. You know what I'm saying? They just want to just peddle foolishness. That has no substance to it. So I am in the court of, and I do want to address something because I have to make it very clear because I don't want this being perpetuated either. My guy, Big Sarge, in the chat. Brother, I am not campaigning for getting rid of Micah Parsons and Trevon Diggs. What I am saying is that there is not a single player on this Dallas Cowboys team who's a made man enough that if a team approaches you with a package that you cannot deny, that you just deny it just based off, because it's this guy. Like Foots just said, we are not the Dallas Micah Parsons. We are not the Dallas Trevon Diggses. It has nothing to do with me. I've already said, unless a team's willing to give you their first a Pro Bowl level player and some more picks for Micah Parsons, that man need to be a Cowboy. But I'm not going to act like that he's untouchable because that's not true, bro. That's not true. The Browns come with that number one in the Myles Garrett. You could touch Mike all you want if that's the case. I'm sorry. And that's just keeping it in the buck, bro. I mean, I'm talking football. I don't have this weird allegiance to these guys where I'm twerking for likes, twerking for retweets, twerking for follows, bro. I don't care. And they don't care about none of us. So I'm not gonna like for real. They're not gonna help me, bro. If I was about to get evicted tomorrow, none of them sending me no money, bro. Yeah. None of them.
I
So
like
I
that.
don't
Twerking
care,
for
bro.
likes. Nah.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
twerking for no likes, bro. We're
Yeah.
not doing it, bro.
And I think, and we'll get to this super chat, Dave White. Thank you so much. I also want to say thank you, AOC, for joining. This is a banger, and we got a little bit more time. I don't want to hold up all this time. But I can honestly say this has been a great. I can't wait to re-listen. Just
Bro, we gotta
because,
get into the Cooper Kupp stuff too, though. Because
yes, we got
there's
to get
more
in the
than just
cup.
see. That's the other thing. There's so many moving parts with this Trevon Diggs thing to make it make sense.
Yeah,
brother. If they come off of Diggs before they're owing
let's
him
talk
that
about
$9 million kicker,
talk about Cup right now.
I'm getting into it right now. They come off Diggs before they owe him that $9 million kicker. You know what you just opened yourself up to do? You've opened yourself up to keep a Jordan Lewis. You've opened yourself up to trade for a Cooper Kupp. You've opened yourself up because now you're taking $9 million off the top of whoever you would have had to pay anyways. You're essentially putting that $9 million, you're displacing it, putting it elsewhere. Cowboys' name at the same time this report just came out about Diggs, their name is now being attached to Cooper Kupp again. And apparently, if the price comes down enough, they may make a move. This is coming from Dan Graziano.
Mm-hmm.
So
of ESPN. So
right,
is that not real?
Come on, man. So they may make a move if the price comes down. Remember, the Rams reported they were willing to eat, like, I think half of his contract to facilitate a trade. We talked about this on the collective a few weeks ago.
Yes.
And that to me with Boo Boo on the Debo trade, by the way, because I do want to touch on that because people have been capping with this Debo stuff, bro. People have been capping with this Debo stuff. I do not like how the first thing we do as media, as fans, as just people within the Cowboys community, I do not like how the first thing we do is immediately start to find ways to discredit the Cowboys by comparison. Even if it's an unfair comparison, you're comparing apples to oranges. Because Debo getting traded at the tender age of 28, 29, 30, whatever it is, coming off of multiple injury seasons with a lack of productivity.
Another player who hasn't been focused.
Come on, bro. Another guy who hasn't been focused, is overweight, has been injured, has had less than I think he had 600 something yards this season for a guy getting paid 20 plus million. The Commanders are eating $20 plus million of his cap hit with that trade. Of course, they're going to have to give a lower pick to get a guy like that. Of course, the 49ers are going to have to make a concession and be like, all right, we'll take that fifth because we're giving you damaged goods. We're giving you a guy who's probably on his last season or two in the league. If you don't believe me, look at DeAndre Hopkins. If you don't believe me, look at Devontae Adams. If you don't believe me, look at how AJ Green's career ended. If you don't believe me, look at the age all the rest of these premier receivers' careers ended, and those guys were route technicians. Debo isn't even a real receiver.
So, Clint, we got to lock in more because maybe we are the only apologists for this Cowboys front office, but people will call Cooper Kupp washed and he outperformed Debo Samuel last year.
Come on, bro.
I'm confused.
Come on, bro.
We got to start making this stuff make sense. The same Debo Samuel who everybody is praising the Commanders for giving up a 5th-round pick and taking on his contract, by the way, and taking on that $17
and taking
million.
on his contract.
Well, actually, they're trying to get rid of. They're trying to move Allen. So this is what's happening. There's a bunch of moving parts, but like Clint just said, Cooper Kupp did out. You guys do realize that he outperformed Debo Samuel, right?
Cooper Kupp was a real receiver. He's a real receiver.
Excuse me. Yeah.
That's the other thing. He is a real receiver, bro. He can run the route tree. Debo is a guy that you need to get him moving across the field in space and then get him the ball close to the line of scrimmage, usually closer to the line of scrimmage, within about 5-6 yards of the line of scrimmage, and then you let him run after the catch. But you know what's interesting about that, Foots? Why everybody's heralding the Debo Samuel stuff? Do people realize that Debo Samuel actually averaged his career low yard after catch per reception this season since his rookie season? Do people realize that?
We gotta really dig into the truth of it.
Do people realize that Debo averaged a full 2 yards fewer than his expected yards per carry average last season?
And you know the interesting thing about it is why. So we hold Kyle Shanahan to this high regard in NFL circles, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
But why was he trying to? He's been actively trying to release Debo for 2 years.
Come on, bro. 2 years.
2 years. This started last year, and people laughed at me when I tweeted. I said, "Bro, I think that they're tired of Debo. I think they want to move on. I don't think he does receiver things good anymore. But we fall in love with the highlights and what he used to be. Hey, the league and great evaluators, Bill, I love you. I'm trying to replace you. And I'm trying to replace you 2 years before I have to pay you. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They drafted Ricky Pearsall. Follow the breadcrumbs. They're okay with Jawan Jennings. Low
They
maintenance.
paid him.
Will
They
block.
paid him last season. They paid Jawan Jennings last offseason and drafted Ricky Parasol and paid Brandon Ayuk.
Let me turn the comments off so I can stay focused on our conversation. Okay, so I know because I now and I want to give you my full attention, bro, because this is a good conversation. So what do you see Cooper Kupp? Because I'm torn, but you just made some great points that are swaying me. How do you use Cooper Kupp in this offense, AOC?
You can use them the same way using CD and have two guys moving around the field like that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
How do you cover that? How do you game plan properly for that? You know what that's going to cause? It's going to cause a lot of communication having to happen on the defensive side of the field. That's going to cause the DBs having to get realigned and, oh, damn, Cooper's in the slot this time. Oh, CD's in the slot this time. Or you can just stick Cooper outside and let CD work from wherever you want to let him work from. But Cooper has that flexibility still, bro, and he is a good enough route technician. He's going to be the perfect type of receiver for a Dak Prescott. Cooper Kupp is a precision route runner. He's going to be at the right spot on the right part of the field when he's supposed to be there. And that's the type of receivers that work best with a Dak Prescott. Oh, by the way, amazing hands, tough contested catch guy. I mean, as long as his health is there, Foots, Cooper Kupp can help this team. Is he going to be like a T. Higgins, Jamar Chase type of combination? No. I think if we got Cooper Kupp from a couple seasons ago, maybe. But this version of Cooper Kupp, you have a very, very good start to a receiver room. Very good start.
You know what I like in it too, AOC? Everybody remember Adam Thielen in his prime? And it was like, man, why would Carolina do this? He's went to Carolina and put up some like really sneaky good numbers.
Yeah.
He barbecued Philly. He's not a top receiver in the league anymore, but he's very reliable. He's a great 2B option. And right. I think that's what the Cowboys are looking for. And if you follow what this staff wants, they want to run the ball. They can still draft a receiver. I think that Shoddy and this staff and, the Oregon coach and Junior Adams, correct? They're all just like, you know what? I want to redo this receiver room. I'm not mad at it. I want to redo the running back room. If they're saying, you know what? We could draft a receiver, but I want to make sure that we have a Cooper Kupp in here who can ease whoever we draft into, because they can look at it and say, man, Jalen Tolbert not good enough. So they're doing what we said that they need to do, not overvalue their guys. I think the development plan for the development route has now taken a hard left turn for Jalen Tolbert. It's off. You had your shot last year. You went out with Brandon Cooks and you hanging out, and we saw that you're trying to develop, but it's not good enough. There's been games where you're just non-existent, or it'll be a catch, a big play, and then you just disappear. Only really real big highlight I can think of was the touchdown catch late versus Pittsburgh. But other than that, there's no game where you said, man, Jalen Tolbert is taking over a game. We need him to take over a game, because at the end of the day, we can say Devontae Smith can take over a game. A.J. Brown can take over a game.
Dallas Goedert can take over a game.
So it makes Jalen Hurts look like he's a better player, quarterback, than he is. But we're looking for that. And with Kupp, I know that Kupp can win on end breakers. I know he's going to be where he's supposed to be. I'm not mad at it.
Right.
I'm not mad.
I'm not mad at it at all. I think the Cowboys are going to shock us this offseason. I think they are slated to be a little bit more active. I know you need to get to your draft stuff, Foots. I think they are slated to be a little bit more active. The Trevon Diggs thing is very interesting to me, because if they're willing to make this type of move with a Trevon Diggs, that lets me know that they are going to retool this roster. Yes. They are going to completely be scrapping guys. They're going to keep a couple of key guys on Osa Digizua, Chauncey Golston, and Jay Lou. They're going to keep a couple of these guys, but I promise you, they're going to give this roster a facelift. And it also is very interesting from a standpoint of, like, bro, Diggs is like Micah's best buddy on the team, bro. And that would be yet another case showing that the team does not value how he feels as much as we think they do. If they really were to get rid of Trevon Diggs, when we know that is Micah's best friend on this team, they didn't talk to Micah about that. They didn't consider him when making that move. So we also got to think about that and be like, all right, we got to stop acting like these players have as much influence as we want to believe that they do.
Okay, last one, Clint. I'm gonna pull up AOC. I'm gonna pull up the some of the corner free agents, and just if the Cowboys wanted to cover themselves that way, because I'm gonna just tell DK. You, yeah, I'm gonna pull them up and just have you talk about them for this maybe 5 minutes, and then we're gonna have a fun week this week, buddy. We got you know what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it is. We coming, man. You coming, Vach is coming, YouTube
Pause.
community. Yeah, come on, y'all. We're arriving. We're arriving.
Yeah. Pause.
We're arriving.
Pause. We're
We're
entering
arriving.
the area.
We're entering the area. The YouTube community, man. Law, all my brothers, Zach, Double Move, anybody in that community, man. Everybody, DMV, all my bros. And it's a beautiful thing because this is what we want. We're direct to consumer. So when we have thoughts and our thoughts start to kind of take over the internet space, it's a dope feeling, bro, because you put the work in, I put the work in, Sky puts the work in, Tuck, all you guys, we're all a family, and we're arriving. We're not coming, we're arriving.
Yeah,
The thing is this, Clint, AOC, I think this is real. I think that people don't want to hear it because they have a Diggs jersey, but I think where there's smoke, there's fire. Let's talk about some of these free agents, and I'm gonna let you get out of here.
Okay.
All right. So just went up on PFF and just kind of pulled up some guys. I think that we'll be out of DJ Reed's price range.
You don't need to be at none of them number one dudes.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's look.
Tier 2. Start at tier 2 type guys. So I'm thinking maybe a Charvarius. I think Charvarius Ward is interesting. That's an interesting name. He was up to close towards the top.
Yeah.
But what concerns me about him, and I mean, prayers up to his family. I know he had a tragic event happen in his family. Even though I do think he would fit the cat, I think he could help. And he would probably be in our price range if I'm being honest. I just, I don't know, man. I think that brother needs to take probably a year off or something, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. He even came out and said he wasn't mentally there. And he's such a good player too, man.
Yep.
You talk about, well, okay, here we go, AOC. You talk about what the Cowboys now want. That's Travarius Ward. Tackle, physical. I mean, you talk about a tackling corner.
Yep.
Ward will come up and punch running backs. He does not care. That dude throws his body around. Great player. I like, it's funny. I like Carlton Davis. Obviously he got hurt. But I've always liked the way he plays. This one's interesting.
Asante Samuel Jr.
Not the normal build that the Cowboys go for.
I want a bigger guy.
I do, but here, let me push back right here, AOC.
Okay.
Eberflus plays more zones. If you guys haven't watched, I did a good talk with Lauren Cox from Locked On Bears, and Eberflus is really, he's not super zone heavy, but he will do some things on the back end with the zones, and he's not just gonna man cover 3, cover 1. Dan Quinn hated it, and we got killed by Green Bay playing that type of defense. He will do some things on the back end that make you think. I mean, I'll be honest with you. If you go back and watch that Commanders game, they scored 12 points before the Hail Mary. 12 points. 12 points, Clint.
Right.
So he knows his chops, and they couldn't move the ball through the air.
Mm-hmm.
I think that a corner like Asante Samuel, who watching him come out of Florida State, great in zone, it's a good player. And I could see, Chargers going in a different direction. Jonathan Jones is interesting. Nate Hobbs is interesting. I've seen his name come up a lot. I think he will be more of a player that you bring in and he eases whatever corner you're going to draft or bring in. And
I don't think you bring in a guy like a Nate Hobbs unless J. Lou isn't here.
Okay.
I think that's a J. Lou replacement. If J. Lou's going, I think that's the kind of guy you look at.
More of a nickel guy.
Yep.
And I do want to bring up a name before we go, just talking about corners. And me and you were talking about this pre-show. Let me go to my feed real quick. It's crazy, y'all. The Cowboy space is going to be fun this week.
Damn, Foots, you got the juice up in this mug, boy. You got 500 people up in it. Hey, hold on. Let me get some of that clout. Off of you, Foots.
Hey, make sure you guys go follow, like, share, and subscribe. I don't go live much, but I think that people want to hear this.
Boy,
they want to. Well, you got to think though, Clint. They want to hear this, and when they see me and you on the screen, people want to hear what's going on. And
Nah, bro. I'm just in here soaking up. I'm just basking in your light right now, Foots. This is
Man,
your shine right here, my brother.
nah,
This your
bro.
shine, bro.
I'm not selfish. I want to pass the rock, and I don't go live much. I must try to go live more. Maxwell Harrison. We talked about him.
Woo!
We talked about him before the show. AOC and
What round? What round is he, Foots?
you my
draft guy.
I'm gonna tell you what you got to do with him. I think you get your weapon in round 1 and then trade back into the first round or trade up in the second and give up a couple of those fifths. Even if you give up like a third from next year, I'm okay, because I told you, and this is one thing about me. I told you so guy. I said this on January 28th. He was the best corner at the Senior Bowl. So this is me. I'm not late to this party. I love Max Harrison. I think that there's people who love, I like Will Johnson. I like Jada Barron. But the thing with Barron is I like Harrison's measurables a little bit better to play on the edge. Barron, to me, is more Brian Branch nickel guy, right? And I think Barron can play on the edge, but I don't want him living on the edge.
Right.
Max Harrison can play on the edge, bro.
Right.
He can play in zone. He can play in man. He's physical. He'll tackle you. He is not Kelvin Joseph. For everybody who
in there fighting,
everybody, that's not his bag, bro. He is gritty. Again, he gives up 30 pounds to Jack Besh, and he don't care. He's physical. You know what I'm saying? And he's not gonna bully him. And to run that 4.3, what did we say about Kalen Carson? I like.
Was it a 4.29? Wasn't it like a 4.29 or something like
that?
Or was it?
Odin was the 4.29.
Oh,
he was a 4.30. But I mean,
okay. Hey, still, yeah.
But what was the issue with Carson? The NFL
getting burnt. He was getting burnt,
bro. Not ready.
Yeah.
So in that, those are a few corner options. But I got to tell you guys, this has been a banger on a Sunday. You guys catch this on a rewatch. Make sure you guys follow Attack on Cowboys. Go over to his channel. I'm gonna put his channel link in the description box. Thank you so much for doing this, bro. This is just a quick emergency kind of pod, and it turned out to be a banger.
580 people up in here.
Do I got any more supers? No more supers. Where the likes at, y'all? Let's get these likes going.
Y'all better drop some likes for my boy, man. But hey, I appreciate you having me on, Foots. Appreciate all of y'all in the chat, spending some of y'all time with us on this Sunday, man. God bless all of y'all, bro.
Hey, God bless, man. We signing out. Let's see what comes of this. But so far, I'm thinking it's real. You guys let us know what you think. All right. Peace.